Okay, guys, let's review it, shall we? Now, before we go any further, please know I am not going to give you any spoilers because I don't do that to you guys. So, this is the story of Earth, and a thing called astrophage has been found, and it is quickly destroying the planet. And if we don't find a way to stop it within 30 years, Earth is going to end in a catastrophic ice age. So, all the astronauts and all the scientists have gathered together to try and figure out how to stop this stuff, but they can't figure it out. So they find a middle school teacher named Rylan Grace, who happens to love his job and loves his students. Middle schoolers, can you believe it? Anyways, they bring Mr. Grace onto this team to try and stop this astrophage and save Earth. And he is brought on as a teacher to teach these astronauts what to do. So you've got a group A and a group B of astronauts, because you always got to have that backup, you know what I'm saying? And he is there to teach them on how to stop this astrophage. But before he can do that, he has to figure out how to reproduce them so he can do some experiments on them. And he does that. So somehow some stuff happens, and Rylan Grace finds himself on the team A of astronauts to go into outer space, and he doesn't want to be there because he happens to know this is a one-way ticket out there. He ain't coming back. So he has to go though, man. He doesn't have a choice. So out into outer space he goes. But when he gets there, his team doesn't wake up, if you know what I'm talking about. So he's out there all alone, except for his little friend Rocky. And let me tell you, Rocky is amazing. I would probably compare Rocky to like Marcellus from Remarkably Bright Creatures. He is an amazing character who you are going to absolutely fall in love with. Now, I do have to say, I did the audio of this book, and thank goodness I did that. Because if I had to read the physical book, I am promising you, I probably would have stopped it. And I don't really DNF books, but there's a lot of technological stuff that happens in this book that's very overwhelming, and I would have just been lost. Now, there are parts in this audiobook where I kind of like found myself a little bit zoning out on that technological stuff, just because it's very deep for my shallow little mind. But I loved this book. I loved it so much. It is an amazing story of friendship and bravery and adventure, and I cannot recommend it enough. I loved it. So I would absolutely read this book. But if you're like me and you have a hard time with all that math and science stuff, I would do the audiobook. But don't give up on it. Now, the beginning of it, you are going to sit there and go, what in the freaking green earth am I listening to right now? But once you get past that little part in the beginning, you are just going to love this story. I'm telling you guys, it is amazing. So please, either read this book or listen to the audio. I cannot recommend it enough. This was absolutely, hands down, 100% a 5-star for me. And so, yeah, I absolutely recommend it. Okay, guys, keep smiling.